The Tragedy of Cinema podcast is intended as a family-friendly program that by extension strives to be inclusive to all people regardless of their ethnicity, gender, creed, or any other identifying factors in this incredibly diverse world of ours. With that said, some of the films we discuss may contain serious subject matters or have content considered morally objectionable by today's standards. We do not intend to condone or dismiss these aspects of these films, but our primary focus will be on what we believe the film succeeds at, some fun facts, and our personal enjoyment factors of each film. With that said, we hope you enjoy the show.
Won't you join me?
Yes, join Audrey Hepburn as you've never seen her before, kicking over the traces and bringing to life Truman Capote's Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I never could do that.
Audrey Hepburn as Holly Golightly, who typifies and glorifies the glamorous playmates of this dizzily spinning world as she and George Peppard breeze through the glitter and shimmer of New York as it has never been captured before. You have a special invitation to attend Audrey Hepburn's open house on the wildest night New York ever knew.
Timber!
Yes. Oh, good evening, Ed.
Tell you one thing, Fred, darling. I'd marry you for your money in a minute. Would you marry me for my money?
In a minute.
So I guess it's pretty lucky neither of us is rich, huh? Please, darling, don't sit there looking at me like that.
Holly, I'm in love with you.
So what?
So what? So plenty. I love you. You belong to me.
No. People don't belong to people.
Of course they do.
I'm not going to let anyone put me in a cage.
I don't want to put you in a cage. I want to love you.
Audrey Hepburn and George Peppard, searching for love in the big town, but sharing only part of their lives until they find the deep, warm moment of truth that can't be hidden, even by the oddball antics on the brittle surface of New York.
Alright guys, welcome back to the Tragedy of Cinema podcast. I'm your host Jimbo, and today we have a special in-house studio guest.
80Z here.
80Z from the Tragedy of Cinema, the Twilight Zone series is here in the house, as well as
Mud Pie Kyle in the house.
Mud Pie Kyle. I was going to say Moon Pie Kyle. But,
Moon Pie Kyle.
Today we were talking about one of the, I guess, lesser known classics. I say that because I hadn't seen it till I was probably about 5 years ago.
If you hadn't seen it, doesn't exist, really? You know, like, it's...
Really?
Yeah.
Kyle, is this your first time watching it?
No, I have seen it before. I know I've seen it at least once before, but I have not watched it since for many years.
Eric?
This would be about half a dozen times.
I do believe you said your daughters like it
they
too,
love
right?
it.
So.
Yeah, so I kind of introduced it to them, but it wasn't a movie that I saw a long time ago, just more recent.
Right. So we are obviously talking about the great movie Breakfast at Tiffany, starring the lovely Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn.
From 1961. Mm-hmm. I think Eric was born. So with that being said, Let's throw a question out there. Kyle, you ready for the question?
I was born ready for your question, Jimbo. Any question you got, I'm ready.
Any
for it.
question.
Exactly.
Remember, you chose the any question.
You're going to choose the one question you can ask, and I'm saying, like, anything but that one question.
Okay, well, I'll start with Eric then, since you're prepared.
Eric, okay.
Eric,
Okay.
where would you rank Audrey Hepburn in the top women actresses of all time?
Of actresses.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Audrey Hepburn, Meryl Streep, go.
oddly enough,
That's a throwback to either an episode before this or after this. I'm not sure where we're going to put that.
oddly enough, I have a lot of that in the mini bio pick that I sort of researched for her. I know she's definitely in the top 50. I would put her in my top 10, at least, of greatest actresses of all time. And we'll get into that a little bit in her biopic as far as the trivia portion of it. But she won a lot of awards. I was actually surprised, though. One thing that surprised me, she only actually won one Oscar. She was nominated several times, but only won one for Roman Holiday.
So she is the Leonardo DiCaprio of
apparently
actresses.
So
Just constantly chasing that award and finally gets it.
definitely top 10. What do you guys think?
Kyle?
In your opinion?
Oh, yeah, I would definitely throw her up there. Like, she's easily top 10 in history, kind of like in the same like vein of like I think like Marilyn Monroe or even Angelina Jolie, Meryl Streep or something like that today. Of just like a beautiful women that have been around for like. Well,
did you really put Marilyn Monroe and Angelina Jolie in the same sentence, Kyle?
Yeah, I think that's totally valid.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Angelina Jolie is nowhere near the class of Marilyn Monroe or Audrey Hepburn.
Oh, I think Angelina Jolie might be high classer.
Moving along.
Eric's got the towel.
We can have that fight later, but I think like, we're even like
the white flag.
All right, I guess we're gonna have a real talk here again after a little bit about women actresses.
Three guys decide who's the best one in Hollywood. Let's go.
Cat fight. See,
Right,
this is what happens when you
question
get.
is to you
This is
now.
this is
All
where you
right,
get
Kyle
zero sleep. Yeah, I think she's definitely worthy, maybe even of the top
Top
five.
five?
Top
Okay,
five.
I wouldn't have a problem
Just
with
for
her in
some,
top five.
just for some of the movie. Well, who are you gonna put ahead of her?
You know, you didn't give me a whole lot of time to think about the question.
Fair question, exactly. I don't.
You
I
like
know
to
nothing
do
about
that.
this.
You like to
Right.
throw people in that space.
That's because
they got to think quickly. Yeah.
You gotta be on the
spot.
ball.
On the, yeah.
I don't know.
Gotta be on your balls. That's how it goes. What?
That's why I say top 10 for sure. Maybe top 5. Who are the actresses ahead of her?
Well, I think you're probably gonna have to put Katharine Hepburn's probably up there too. No relation,
Right, which is
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah, she's probably definitely up there. I would say. I'm not putting Marilyn Monroe up there in the top 5.
No, I don't think
Can't
so.
do it.
Not a body of work.
No.
Probably.
Man, it gets hard. We'll have to come back to that.
Yeah. See,
Well,
it's
let's make that another real talk. The top 10 actresses, personal preferences.
Okay.
So Kyle doesn't get offended when Angelina Jolie don't make the top 25. So
She's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see maybe not top 5, but I could see.
I can't see
why you
top
would
10
think
either. But anyway. So Kyle, I'm let's go ahead and get this going. We've been jibber jabbing long enough. Let's go ahead and kick it over to
Margaret Robbie. I got names.
Kyle. You know there were actresses before 1990. Just so you know
Yeah,
that.
but I don't care about them.
What about Judy Garland?
Judy Garland's great, but you know, there's a lot. There's been a lot of actresses in history. I don't know if you know, but like they make up like half population. Those women people.
Those women.
What do you mean, you people?
Here we go. We're bringing back cancel Kyle already.
Cancel Kyle.
So Kyle, take this away before you train wreck us even further.
Okay, all right. Breakfast and Tiffany's released.
Not in Tiffany's.
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Breakfast and Tiffany's. You
know,
it's a whole. As if Kyle started the movie. Breakfast and
Eric might be
Tiffany's.
the only one who has a semblance of consciousness right now. You're like half
I will
days of
take-
sleep. I had 2 hours of sleep.
Kyle's
myself.
like, I will take the diamond necklace and a side of pancakes.
Exactly. Diamond pancakes and a side of yes.
Diamond pancakes.
I need time pancakes. Pancakes in time. All right. Breakfast at Tiffany's. Hashtag at Tiffany's.
Yeah, man. Make sure you enunciate her. Jimbo
Yeah.
will climb all over you.
Release date October 6th, 1961. Directed by Blake Edwards. Writing credits: novel by Truman Capote. Screenplay by George Axelrod. Box office budget for the film was $2.5 million in 1961, which is the equivalent of $24.2 million today. Then the box office gross earnings was $14 million, or the equivalent of $135.4 million today. And let's see, here's some technical specs. The runtime is only 114 minutes. Nothing else to go by there. And then we have the awards. This film was the winner for best Oscar, winning Oscar for best music for original song for the song "Moon River,"
Wider than a mile.
and best music scoring of a dramatic or comedy picture.
Now every time we mention Moon River in the notes, we have to sing it. Okay, that's just.
Yeah, I understand.
I've got a bunch of them. So.
Yeah. Okay, you got to say it for the notes because if I did it for the awards, I'm going to say it every other sentence. And then it was also an Oscar nominee for Best Actress, of course related to Audrey Hepburn, and then Best Writing, which was a nominee for George Axelrod. Then also it was a nominee for Oscars for Best Art, related to Hal Pereira, Roland Anderson, Sam Comer, and Ray Moyer. And then we have the Golden Globes, where it was a nominee for Best Motion Picture in Comedy and Best Actress, again, to Audrey Hepburn. The Bambi Awards in 1962, also Best Actress nominee for Audrey Hepburn. The David D. Donatello Awards in 1962, it won the Best Foreign Actress, again, awarded to Audrey Hepburn. Then we have the Directors Guild of America Awards, where it was a nominee for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Motion Pictures to Blake Edwards. Next, we're going to the Grammy Awards in 1962, where, let's see here, it was the winner for Best Soundtrack Album or Recording of a Score from a Motion Picture, awarded to Henry Mancini. Then we have...
What was that for?
What was the song?
Moon River.
I said we're not doing this for the awards.
No, you said for every award.
Okay. You guys. All right. So,
Now, what movie is this? And
Breakfast
I said,
at
what
Tiffany's.
about Breakfast at Tiffany's?
No.
Not in
I'm going to
Tiffany's.
refer to it as Tiffany's for the rest of the podcast, just to annoy you. Record of the year for the song Moon River. Okay, then we're gonna do this again because now you guys got to own it now. Song of the Year award for winner Grammy for the song Moon River. Best instrumental arrangement for the song Moon River. And then best performance by an orchestra.
4.
That's enough.
Yeah. See, now you see how it went. I warned you guys. Nominee for Album of the Year for Moon River. Moon River. And then nominee again for the IFMCA Awards for Best Archival Release of Existing Score. That was released a little bit later in time at 2014, so they actually restored it in 2014, I assume for a Blu-ray release, most likely. Then we have the Laurel Awards in 1962, where it won the Golden Laurel for Top Song for the song Moon River. I'll do it alone for this. And then we have another nominee for the Golden Laurel for Top Musical Score and Top Female Comedy Performance for Audrey Hepburn. In 2012, it was added to the National Film Registry. And in 2013, it was also added to the Online Film and Television Association's Hall of Fame. And that is the awards for Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I'm glad you said at.
There you go. At Tiffany's. Moving on, we have... we have 2 more awards. My bad. My personal failings right there. But I got the cast up here. I don't need this part. I only need these 2 awards. Thank you very much, Eric. I appreciate you and all you do. Satellite Awards in 2006. It won the Best Classic DVD for the anniversary edition of Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I think he's going to say Moon River.
And then also in 1992, it won the Writers Guild of America Award for Best Written American Comedy, awarded to George Axelrod.
A little fun fact. Moon River, he wrote this specifically for Audrey Hepburn in mind. But it since then has been recorded over 500 times.
Yeah, a lot.
But I would say 501 now with Kyle's booming vocals.
Exactly. Yeah. It used to be a personal little hobby of mine of trying to find like one popular pop song and then see how many versions of it existed in time. My favorite was Kids of America because there's like 90 different versions of it and they're all terrible and I love them all. But here's the screamo death metal band of "We're the Kids in America," and here's like the even more kids bop version of it. I'm like, it's great.
I think Andy Williams did Moon River pretty good too, if I remember right. So but my mind is shot these days, so who knows?
especially today.
Lack of sleep does that to you. Exactly. I mean, when you yell at the waitress this morning for not having your food or silverware or juice or silverware,
Yeah. Well, she didn't know there was going to be 3 people there. there. I got 3 menus, but she just gave 2 courses. She expected you and me, and I didn't tell her about Eric, so that's why. So it's
But he
all
was
Eric's
there
fault.
before me, yeah.
It's all Eric.
Way to go,
Eric. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Anyways, moving on to the cast at Breakfast at Tiffany's. We have the legendary Audrey Hepburn playing Holly Golightly. Holly Golightly. There we go. Get my pronunciation right. Otherwise, Jimbo will jump down my throat and kill me.
Is that you think that's a play on words?
Holly Golightly? I imagine it is, for sure. Yeah.
That's Truman Capote.
But her real name in this movie was Holiday, if you know the research.
It was... Well, I thought it was Lula May. Wasn't
Lula May.
Continue on, Kyle. We'll get there.
It was Anthony Chalamet. That's what it was. Timothy Chalamet. Timothy Chalamet. I'll be like Audrey Hepburn. Okay. Holly Golightly. Audrey Hepburn, of course, best known for other films such as Roman Holiday in 1953, Charade in 1963, My Fair Lady in 1964, Wait Until Dark in 1967, and her last film was Always in 1989. Next up, we have George Peppard playing Paul.
Whoa! Look at Eric's face. He about that.
Hard.
I hate to
Go for it. Go for it,
step
Eric.
in here. It's George. I love it when a plan comes together. Papard.
Papard. Okay, George Papard. All right, George Papard.
He thought I was.
I'm gonna own it.
You should have seen his face, dude. It was like,
He's just
whoa,
disgusted in me. Just like, oh my gosh.
No.
millennial.
Exactly. I give it the old college try for pronunciations. I don't have a good tongue. George Papard plays Paul for Jack. He's been known for films such as The Blue Max in 1966, The Carpetbaggers in 1964, The Ground Star Conspiracy in 1972, and Battle Beyond the Stars in 1980. Then we have Patricia Neal playing, and this is an odd thing I saw in the casting. That it says 2E Phelanson. I don't know if that's supposed to be the apartment building she's in or something like that. Or
No,
like
that's the lady. I have it in my notes.
I kind of missed in the film.
She's George Papard's one of his ladies in here.
Oh, okay. So one of his escorts,
right?
If you will. Okay. Well, she's been in such films such as HUD in 1963, The Day the Earth Stood Still in 1951, In Harm's Way in 1965, and Baxter in 1973. Then we have Buddy Ebsen playing Doc Golightly. Buddy Ebsen is, of course, best known for his role as Jed Clampett. Jed Clampett. I got it right. I got it.
Get that correct.
In the OG Beverly Hillbillies from 1962 to 1971. He was also in such films such as Born to Dance in 1936 and Captain January, also in 1936. Then we have Martin Balsam playing O.J. Berman. He was in such films such as All the President's Men in 1976, 12 Angry Men in 1957, Psycho in 1960, and 1,000 Clowns in 1965. What a terrifying movie, 1,000 Clowns. I'm just going by the title. I have never seen it.
Sounds terrifying.
It sounds terrifying. I had a dream like this once. Next up, we have Jose de Luis de Valonga. I'm hoping I pronounced that right. Probably not. But he plays Jose de Silvia Pereira. And he's been in such films such as Juliet of the Spirits in 1965, Darling in 1965, and Cleo from 5 to 7 in the years 1962. Then we have John McGiver playing Tiffany's salesman. He was in such films such as The Manchurian Candidate in 1962, Mr. Terrific in 1967, and
Did you say Manchurian?
The Manchurian Candidate in 1962, Mr. Terrific in 1967, and Midnight Cowboy in 1969. Then we have Dorothy Whitney playing May Wildwood. She was in such films. Well, she was actually only in this movie, and the other movie was Oh, Rosalinda in 1955. Yeah, but she got the full casting name in this one. Then we have Stanley Adams playing Rusty Trawler. He was in such films such as Lilies of the Field in 1963, The Trouble with Tribbles episode of OG Star Trek in 1967, wow. Yeah, and Nevada Smith in 1966. Then we have Elvira Allman playing the librarian. She has one little scene, but she gets a full cast in this thing list. The cast is actually really convenient in this one because everyone is presented right at the beginning of the film, and then IMDb categorizes it very nice. Everyone else is pretty much uncredited, but this is the only full credits roll, which is very limited.
Sorry to interrupt. Was
problem.
Truman Capote, didn't he make a cameo in this? Maybe he's not credited?
I don't...
I thought I read that somewhere, but
It is very possible, but I didn't go through the uncredited section.
No,
so I'm going to have to leave that for the viewers to figure out for themselves.
Yeah.
Go find your own trivia.
Wow. Okay. Well,
This podcast isn't everything.
I guess I'm rubbing off on you, Kyle.
Elvira Allman playing the librarian.
My heart's on fire for Elvira. Is that what you said?
Well, yeah, the IMDb actually has as of Elvia, but I imagine I bet it's just a typo for Elvira Allman.
No, it's Elvira.
Elvia. I don't know if I'm going to go with Elvia.
How would you like to be? Well, one day we thought his name was Kyle, but we don't think the Y was there, so it's Kali.
I'll take it. I've been mistaken for a woman before, so like, how bad can it be for me? I'm used to it. Elvia Allman. Okay, I'm gonna go by there. I'm gonna go by there just in case. She was also in movies such as The Nutty Professor, the original, in 1963,
Good movie.
Honeymoon Hotel in 1964, and You Can't Always Run From It in 1956. Going to the next page here of the cast, we have Alan Reed playing Sally Tomato. Yes, Alan Reed, of course, best known as playing Fred in the Flintstones in 1960 to 1966. So he's the legendary Fred Flintstone, the original. The Postman Always Rings Twice in 1946, and Lady and the Tramp in 1955. Next up, we have Beverly Powers playing the nightclub stripper. Very iconic scene for that movie. She was in such films such as The Comedy of Terrors in 1963. Kissing Cousins in 1964, and Speedway in 1968. Next up, we have Claude Stroud playing Sid Arbuck. They were in such films such as All About Eve in 1950, The Beatniks in 1960, and The Rookie in 1959. Then we have Mickey Rooney playing the poorly aged role of Mr. Uninoshi, how was it pronounced again? Uninoshi?
I think so.
Uninoshi. Okay, I'm going to stand by that. Mickey Rooney, legendary comedic actor. This role probably didn't age well as many as the others, but he's been in a lot of other films, such as It's a Mad, 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 Mad World in 1963. One of my favorite movies of all time, actually. Babes in Arms in 1939. And one of his final films was Night at the Museum in 2006. So Mickey Rooney, legendary actor's on right there. This film probably isn't for it, though. And then last, but certainly not least, the most important character of the film. This has some discrepancies if it was just one cat or how many cats it was, but we have Orangey playing the cat. This cat was apparently in The Incredible Shrinking Man in 1957, 18 episodes of The Beverly Hillbillies, and was in the movie Visit to a Small Planet in 1960. So, legendary actor, Orangey the cat.
That is awesome, Kyle. Well done.
The cast of Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Right. So we brought ADZ in, number one, because I know he likes this movie and his family. But number two, we're going to have him do a little...
Yes, I do like my family.
At times, right?
Controversial
asked him
opinion
to do a little biography on Audrey Hepburn. And then he's going to give us a little synopsis of the movie that we're talking about.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, I'm going to start off with the synopsis first.
hey.
A few sentences.
You got to follow...
Actually, it's one sentence.
You got to follow the rules, but if I say we're doing Audrey Hepburn...
man.
I'm kidding. You do you.
Pounding the
man.
table.
I gotta get him a Snickers, something like that. He's not hitting me.
For real.
I'm glad we're doing a real talk after this because it's going to be off the hook.
Off the chain.
All right. A New York woman becomes interested in a young man who has moved into her apartment building, but her past threatens to stand in the way. So that's a pretty simple synopsis. On to the bio. And I'm probably just going to give you an abridged edition because I got a lot here.
No, take your time, man.
I didn't know
Let us
how
have it all.
long or
We're
how
going to
much.
be here for 5 hours, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, let's start with where she was born and when she was born. May 4th, 1929, and I'm going to really butcher this. It's in Belgium. It's spelled Ixelles, Brussels, Belgium. Exelles? I don't know. But she was born in Belgium, and she died on January 20th, 1993, again in a really difficult to pronounce city in Switzerland. Tolochenazvaud. Tolochenazvaud.
That's very good. You
That
nailed it.
sounds
I don't
close.
know. But anyway.
As someone who doesn't know it at all, I'm going to say it sounds close.
So her birth name was actually Audrey Kathleen Rustin, and she was 5'7". She was, again, born in Belgium, and her mother actually was a baroness, and her name was Ella von Hemstra, She was a Dutch noblewoman, while her father, Joseph Victor Anthony Rustin, was born in another difficult city in Bohemia. I won't even attempt to pronounce that.
Was he also of noble descent, or was he a commoner?
I think he
Marrying
was
up to his class.
I think actually he was in some sort of political nobility in their home country. But her parents actually divorced, and Audrey went to London to live with her mother, where she went to a private girls' school. Later, her mother moved back to the Netherlands, and she attended private schools. And while she vacationed with her mother in Arnhem, the Netherlands, actually Hitler, this is about the time of World War II, Hitler's army took over the town, and it was here that she fell on hard times during the Nazi occupation. So during that time, she suffered from depression and malnutrition as a result of Hitler's takeover during the World War II and the Nazi regime. After the liberation, though, she went on to ballet school in London on a scholarship, and she became a model. And just skipping further along, talking about her married life, she was married on September. She actually had two husbands, she had two spouses. Both marriages ended in divorce. The first spouse was Andrea Doughty, and she was married to him from 1969 to 1982. They divorced and had one child. And then she married Mel Ferrer, Ferrer, and she married him. Actually, I got those in reverse order. She married him in 1954. That was her first husband. Mel was her first husband, then they divorced in 1968. Then she married Andrea Doughty, and she has two children. And let me skip down a little bit. Let's talk about her trademarks, okay? So her trademarks were...
Let's go for it.
Often she was cast opposite leading men, where she... that were considerably older than she was. We talked about that a little bit at breakfast. She often played classy, high society women, which kind of went along with her upbringing. I mean, that wasn't probably that much of a stretch.
Where she was more naturally suited.
Yeah, I mean, considering she came from, a high class royalty upbringing. She was charming. She played charming characters who try to wear their troubles lightly, as Breakfast at Tiffany's is proof of that. I mean, she kind of played that role.
Makes it look effortless.
Yeah, and she had a delicate, thin frame. Also wanted to mention later in her life, as we move from trademarks, she did a lot of work with UNICEF after she retired from acting. So she's won several awards for her charitable work with UNICEF and in different places all over the world. Really, she was kind of really like a main. Believe she even won a Medal of Honor from the president. I might have had that in my trivia. One of the presidents, I think it was George H.W. Bush, gave her the Medal of Freedom for her work with UNICEF.
Like the highest honor you can give us.
Yeah, exactly. So that was really interesting. Her death, we'll touch on her death here. She died at age 63, so she was relatively young when she died on January 20th, 1993. She had appendicular cancer. I'm really bobbling the words this morning, but she died from cancer. She had made a total of 31 high-quality movies. Her elegance and style will always be remembered in film history, as evidenced by being named Empire Magazine's top 100 movie stars of all time. So she cracked I think that's in the UK. It's a magazine in the UK. She cracked their top 100, and it's believed and surmised that one of the reasons that she contracted this cancer was she had a really bad smoking habit apparently throughout her entire life. Jimbo, you might have that some in your notes as well.
I mean, you just watch this movie, you see her smoking all the time.
Yeah.
I think one of the movies, she was up to like 60 cigarettes a day or something. It was the Western movie. I can't think of the name of it right now, but
who can? Why have anxiety when you can just have 60 cigarettes a day, right?
that's a lot.
Sorry, that's bad. I know it's sad.
No, that's a lot. So anyway, the general consensus is that's what contributed to her early demise,
without doubt. Yeah.
She's ranked again. I already mentioned she's ranked in the top 100 on UK's Empire magazine. She was chosen as People magazine's 50 most beautiful people in the world, and that was a 1990 edition. She had a breed of tulip named after her in 1990. That's kind of odd, which I think that might harken back because she's quoted as saying during the Nazi takeover in the Netherlands, we go back to the World War II and talk about her malnutrition. She used to eat grass and tulip bulbs. So I don't know if that comes out of that, but she had a tulip named after her. She died on January 20th. We talked about that. That was the day of Bill Clinton's first inauguration as President of the United States. And it was the 67th birthday of Patricia Neal. And that'll come into play a little bit later in trivia here. They actually both starred together. I think Kyle already talked about that. They starred together in Breakfast at Tiffany's. So Patricia Neal turned 67 on the day of her death. She was fluent in English, Dutch, Spanish, and French and Italian. Wow. That's pretty amazing.
Kyle can even be fluent in English.
Yeah, raised bilingually, speaking English and Dutch, resulting in her unique accent. And that accent does come through in the movie as well. You can kind of pick up on that. Throughout her life, she used multilingualism to her great advantage with the international press in both careers as an actress and as a humanitarian. She was briefly considered for the role of Cleopatra in 1963, but the part eventually went to Elizabeth Taylor, another beautiful actress.
Soon be played by Gal Gadot, I believe, in the near future, actually.
Oh, really?
I believe so. She's actually part of the Cleopatra film in the near future. I'll look it up to be sure now.
Another,
you continue.
Another beautiful actress as well in her own right. Audrey was actually trained as a dental assistant before making it big in her movie career. This is an interesting one. Like Humphrey Bogart, Hepburn also starred in 5 of the movies listed by American Film Institute in its top 100. Okay, so here they are. This was in 2002 is when they released this. The first one is Roman Holiday, which is ranked number 4 on the list. Sabrina in 1954 was ranked number 54 on the top 100, which also starred Humphrey Bogart. My Fair Lady in 1964 ranked number 12. Two for the Road in 1967 was number 57 on that top 100 list, and Breakfast at Tiffany's was number 61 on the top 100. So 5 in the top 100. That's pretty stellar. Yeah,
incredible.
That's why I think she's definitely top 3 worthy of actresses of all time.
Sure.
Maybe
it
might even be the number 1.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that definitely could be made. The case could be made for that.
I don't know if it could ever be definitively said, but yeah, she's definitely up there. Like she's a league of her own.
I definitively said it.
Definitely said it. I am the one word. I am the final
tragedy
word.
cinema stamps. Audrey Hepburn.
Women. Jimbo, the final word on women. That's gonna be your next book title.
I mentioned earlier that she was a dental assistant. She had been trained as a dental assistant, and that comes into play in this next trivia.
Man, I would make so many dental appointments if she was my dental assistant.
This tooth is really hurting.
Well, let me pull that one. Oh, wait, this one hurts too.
Toothache every week.
Mr. Barnes again.
It's costing me a fortune, but it's worth it.
It says during the Battle of Arnhem, I can't say that word. 16-year-old Audrey was a volunteer nurse at a Dutch hospital. The hospital received many wounded Allied soldiers, one of whom young Audrey helped nurse back to health was a young British paratrooper and future director named Terence Young. I don't know who that is.
Terence Young. I'll look it up while you're doing that.
More than 20 years later, Young directed Hepburn in Wait Until Dark, a movie in 1967. People magazine said that she was very self-conscious about her size 10 feet. So she had pretty large feet.
Clown feet.
Oh, wow. Terence Young directed Dr. No. Yeah, James Bond, original James Bond.
We've already covered,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we've already been there. And From Russia with Love and a bunch of other stuff, too. So, yeah, great director. Okay.
That should have rang a bell.
Good on you, Audrey.
Exactly.
Another contribution to film legacy right there.
In 1993, she became the 13th performer to win the Triple Crown of Acting, an Oscar for Best Actress, a Tony for Best Actress in the play Ondine in 1954, and an Emmy for Outstanding Individual Achievement. So she's a Triple Crown winner. In 2005, she was one of the only 9 performers to win an Oscar, a Tony, and an Emmy and Grammy Award. I kind of alluded to that earlier. Okay, now this one, tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't know why I threw this one in.
No,
but
you're wrong.
It just says, is portrayed by Jennifer Love Hewitt in the Audrey Hepburn story in the year 2000. Apparently there was a movie
Yeah, I think it was called Audrey.
Yeah,
Was it called
2000,
Audrey?
I believe so. Yes.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, though.
I think so. Look it up, God.
But the time,
Isn't she like short and Audrey Hepburn's like tall and skinny?
How tall was Audrey Hepburn? You said at the beginning.
5'7", right?
So that's not very tall.
I guess you're right. I don't know. I don't know.
You're thinking of Jennifer Love Hewitt when she was on Party of Five when she was just a kid,
Maybe.
probably.
I don't know. That just
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I don't know.
Hepburn, yeah, the Audrey Hepburn story. 2000. Yeah. 3 hours. Wow. Yes, Jennifer Love Hewitt was playing her. I'll look up Jennifer Hewitt's height. We have to know that now.
I'm sorry.
She's 5'2", so 5 inches short.
I mean, come on.
You know,
That's a stretch.
5 inches don't matter. Ask my wife.
Wow.
Shush.
Jeez, yeah. Well, number one, you're not married, so that's really odd.
It's the one joke I know. About 5 inches.
So, moving on, from 1980 until her death, she lived together in Switzerland with her partner, Dutch actor Robert Wolders. Okay, here's one. Hopefully, I might be walking on one of Jimbo's.
It doesn't matter, man.
We'll see.
Her famous black dress from Breakfast at Tiffany's, a Ford movie, 1961, designed by Hubert D. Givenchy, was sold at Christie's auction for approximately $920,000 in December of 2006.
Between that dress, there's probably only one other dress that's probably worth just as much as that, and that's probably Monica Lewinsky's dress.
I knew you were going to say that.
Wow.
Boy, this is just going in the
I was
gutter
going to go like
today.
maybe Marilyn Monroe's dress from like
No, Kyle, we went the whole other direction.
The 7-year itch. The 7-year itch. I would think her dress for 7-year itch probably that much money, but I don't know for certain. Or the one she had in front of JFK, that dress too. You know, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Kim Kardashian owns it. I think it's like $1 million dress now.
In her last
Insanity,
three appearances or movie roles, she donated all of the salaries that she earned for her final projects to UNICEF. And on that note, let me just give you some, and I'll wrap up here with some salaries. So we'll just throw out salaries from movies that she has done. For Roman Holiday, 1953, $12,500. That's what she made for the whole movie. Won an Oscar, and she won $12,000.
Even for inflation,
Or she was paid $12,000.
Well, in 1953, how much money was that, Kyle?
1953.
I don't know, off the top of your head, adjusted for inflation.
Wait,
$1.7 million. No.
It would have been probably about 20. It would have been closer to like 120,000 value of today, roughly.
Why don't you look it up on your phone?
What specifically was it again?
12,500.
12.5 and 58, 53?
53.
53.
Sabrina, 1954. She earned $15,000. So she got bumped up later that year for the producer showcase. She made $150,000. So she 10 times what she made for Sabrina, which also was nominated. Let's skip down. I won't go through all of them. For this movie in particular, Breakfast at Tiffany's, the one we're covering today, it was $750,000.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kyle.
So one quick, for just for inflation, $12,500 in 1953 would be the equivalent of about $135,000 in today's money. So that's good money for an regular person, but for an actress, that's not
a person, Kyle.
That's really good money
actors
for a
aren't regular
person.
people. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm that right now. Actors make exorbitant amount of money, especially that's not like athlete money or big Hollywood star actor.
Right.
So that's a lot less than I would have expected she to get paid.
So we've spoken a little bit about Marilyn Monroe, and she actually replaced Marilyn Monroe in Breakfast at Tiffany's. So Marilyn Monroe was actually scheduled to play the character Holly Golightly. And then just lastly, and I'll wrap up, the first time she earned $1 million for a film, she actually earned $1.1 million in the movie in 1964, My Fair Lady. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
Yep.
Have you? Okay.
Good movie.
So that's pretty much. I had a lot more, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of wrap it up there so we can move along. And
well, they
Get the
said
movie trivia.
They said that for this film, she made I think $750,000.
Yeah.
And when she did, it made her one of the highest. Made her the actually highest paid actress in film at that time. Per film
which
at that
kind of
time.
goes back to what Kyle was saying. Even though $12,500 for
she was
Roman
still
Holiday,
the highest paid actress.
she still was the highest.
Well,
paid actress.
roughly 10 times as much from the 60s to now. So
Yeah.
you're looking at that's close to $7.5 million of
Yeah.
value.
But do you know how much George Peppard made for this movie?
I
to
don't
see if there was
have
any
it.
Kyle, look it up, see if you can find out how much Papard. Google boy Kyle.
There's no way I'm going to find that. No way.
Watch, he'll be like, oh, look, it's right here.
It's right here.
But I just wanted to know if there was still
the disparity between the
discrepancies between male and female roles.
I'll look it up.
Like where Toto in The Wizard of Oz was making almost as much as Judy Garland, back in 1935 or whatever. So while Kyle's Googling, we'll just keep on going. So Audrey Hepburn, she's playing Holly in this movie, was only supposed to appear 19 years old, when in fact she was 31 years old. So there,
bit of a age discrepancy there, huh?
Right. She also, something that we talked about at breakfast, Holly Golightly wears the same dresses all the way throughout this movie. All she does is just accessorize better as the movie goes on, and it's the same dress. So I thought that was really crazy. So the black shift dress features in this movie changes at least 4 times. So no wonder it was one of the most famous dresses and sold for a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. Deservedly. I wouldn't say deservedly so. Hopefully it was gone to like a charitable college like UNICEF or something like that, because she had a history of UNICEF like we just covered.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, we know it was her last 4 films, was it? That
3.
Was 3?
Her last
so what
3.
was her last 3 that she did?
I think I've got... No. There's 3 in 1989 here. Well, I'll go ahead and throw this in because this is kind of interesting too. Cause I don't know. She says she accepted her final role. I have that. Okay, her last 3 were. Let me answer that question first. Was 1987, Love Among Thieves, Always in 1989, and that movie was called Gardens of the World with Audrey Hepburn. And then if I skip down to this, it says she accepted her final role as Hap in the movie Always in 1989. This is interesting. Simply for the opportunity to work with the director Steven Spielberg. Hepburn was moved by Spielberg's E.T. in 1982 after taking her youngest son to see it in Rome and remarked, "This man is a genius." And she vowed to work with him ever since. So she really loves Steven Spielberg.
As we all do.
Yeah, of course.
Deservedly
and
so.
wanted to be in any capacity in one of the movies that he was making. But money-wise, I do have that movie, Always, 1989. That movie, she made $1 million. So
$1 million. Just $1 million.
Just $1 million. Here's $1 million.
Kyle, did you find the George Papard?
I can find his net worth of $5 million today, but I can't find specifically what he made at Breakfast at Tiffany specifically. Yeah.
Nothing for George Peppered. Huh?
It's fun seeing the article plate just say, "How much is George Peppered?" How much is he? like you think about a supermarket, just think about George Peppered at a supermarket.
Oh, boy. So Tiffany's actually opened its doors on a Sunday for the first time since the 19th century so that filming could take place inside the store.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And something else you'll notice at the beginning of this movie, I think it's the beginning, you see her get in the cab and it's going one way like north, but that street runs south or something like that in real life. Yeah, they had it. You can actually see a policeman blocking traffic or something if you watch that beginning scene. So Henry Mancini wrote Moon River specifically for Audrey Hepburn. He later said that while many versions of the song has been done, he feels that Audrey's was the best. About 9 cats were used throughout the film as the role of cat. So the cat didn't even have a name besides
Orangey. Yeah, well, Orangey is
his real name.
Yeah.
She's singing it right now.
She is.
On TV. Yeah, we have her on TV.
We have it on closed caption right now for copyright reasons, of course.
At a post-production meeting following the screening of the film, a studio executive in reference to the song Moon River said, "Well, I think the first thing we can do is get rid of that stupid song." Audrey Hepburn stood up at the table and said, mad. "Over my dead body." The song stayed in the picture.
That's a good thing.
What Audrey Hepburn says she gets.
I mean, you see her singing that song, man, and you just feel for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's just she's just beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not trying to tell Audrey Hepburn no to anything. You couldn't do it. Even if you wanted to.
She come to me and ask me for anything.
I was like, "You need left leg?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I got a saw. We'll go. All right.
All of my teeth.
All of my teeth.
Oh, take my gums too. Do you remember when they throw that wild party in her apartment or whatever? Mm-hmm. Blake Edwards wanted to capture the free, willing lifestyle of Holly and her friends, so using all the little gags and everything they had in there. So he actually ordered up real cases of champagne and let the bubbly flow among the actors, allowing everyone to contribute ideas of outrageous behavior. So some of that stuff probably wasn't scripted. It was probably just them.
Sometimes, the best way to film it is just to make it happen.
We already talked about Marilyn Monroe was going to be in there for Monroe, she was cast to play her, but her drama coach, Lee Strasberg, told her that playing a call girl was not good for her image. The film went on to be a huge success, with Monroe's replacement, Hepburn, receiving the Golden Globe and Academy Award nominations for the Best Actress.
Oops.
I wonder if she ever went back to her drama coach and said, you see this? You cost me probably a lot of money and some hardware.
Yeah. That's...
In 2006, short documentary Breakfast at Tiffany's, The Making of a Classic in 2006, Blake Edwards said that when the movie was made, he didn't think about the implications of casting an actor of European heritage, Mickey Rooney, in a role of a Japanese person. But looking back, I wish I would have never done it, and I would give anything to be able to recast it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
rethink
recast
that
him.
one.
Yeah, like exercise his whole role, or like just not make him, I don't know if it's Chinese or Japanese, I don't know, but just like not have him be of that descent at all, just be a loudmouth, tenant and play with Mickey Rooney, be fine too. You could have done that, but they chose the exact wrong thing to do. So that's just a stain on this whole movie, unfortunately.
George Peppard was a method actor. That's how he had studied. So, but Audrey Hepburn had a hard time working with somebody like that. So, but they said even though they had difficulties acting together, they remained close friends till the end of her life.
Yeah, it was really. I mean, the first time I saw this, it was really hard for me to get past his role because I only know him as Hannibal Smith from my childhood. So it was like, wow, this guy's like a leading man,
Yeah, he's like sitting in the bed without his shirt on and all that.
Yeah, it's like I
Putting in the work.
I just see him in the van, an A-team.
Yeah, I was waiting for him
With a cigar in his mouth.
after he kisses her at the end of the rain. Like, I love it when a plane comes together.
Would have been great.
Except A-Team wasn't invented yet, Eric.
I
So,
know. Man, child of the '80s. I'm
when
cursed.
Holly whistles for it to Hell's a Cab, it was actually dubbed in. She attempted to learn how to whistle with 2 fingers, but never could produce the desired sound. I've still never been able to do that. Have you?
Either.
I can't whistle at all.
Whistle while you work, huh? Patricia Neal's hair was dyed red so as not to compete with Audrey Hepburn's dark looks.
Yeah. Got to make sure we make those distinct.
Yeah.
Alex will get confused.
How could they get mistaken?
Like, that was one woman that's not looks like another woman. I don't know. They got the same haircut. They're the same woman. It's fine.
Buddy Epson was actually thinking about retiring from acting after this movie, but the creators of the Beverly Hillbillies saw him in this movie, and they said, "Hey, we want you to play Jed Clampett." And the producers sent him a copy of the script, and he changed his mind quickly thereafter.
Cool.
So
that was a good move.
Yeah. There's not much like previous work I can really refer to, but like you can kind of get the idea of like if he's playing like regular straight like the regular normal guy for like business minded in previous films, and then have this role where he has like the mix of like being a horse doctor from Texas, having that more of a country accent.
You know what?
You can see the bridge to go to Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah.
At the back.
what do you get when you cross a hillbilly with an A-Team? You know what I mean?
Well,
the greatest matchup.
he was in season 2 of The Twilight Zone. He's in an episode.
He was also the original Tin Man, I do believe, before the
you guys
makeup
did cover
made
that.
him sick.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. We did mention that. I remember that now. Yes.
Yeah, Kyle, you weren't here, so how did you remember?
He's a fan.
I did,
Listened.
We did research on that originally, didn't we?
No,
I thought
Wizard of
did.
Oz was me and Terrence, the very first episode we ever did of the podcast.
Wow. Okay. I'm lying then. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I
Go
thought I
back
knew
to
this.
sleep, Kyle.
I could have sworn I heard this. Okay. I'd probably listen to your podcast sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah,
No, surely not.
Again, they said Tiffany was extremely cooperative during the filming of this, allowing the crew access to whatever they needed in its interiors. When she says the famous saying, "It should take you exactly 4 seconds to cross from here to that door, I give you 2," it takes Paul exactly 4 seconds from when he starts walking to when he reaches the door. So I thought that was pretty funny. Although it is never explained why Holly is wearing a bed sheet at her cocktail party, an earlier scene that was cut before its release established she'd been taking a bath and had to improvise a gown on the spur of a moment. The cut scene was featured in Life magazine's pictorial shortly before the film was released.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, and also it just makes sense. Like considering like they say like in the film she's 19, so she's just making do whatever she's got. Always just at the like at the end of her rope, basically like that. Like always like I gotta find a new thing real quick. Okay, this is bathroom curtain gown. They're making this happen.
Shoes,
and of course she owns it because she's Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah, she couldn't even find her other shoes.
She could wear a trash bag and still
the phones in the suitcase or whatever.
Yeah. She can't make a dress look bad.
Audrey Hepburn hated Danish pastry, so while the famous opening scene made it a bit of a chore for her to do. How can you hate a Danish pastry? I don't know.
Yeah.
The movie was shot only 3 months after the birth of her first son, Seth Hepburn Farrer. 3 months, man, and she's just back down to 107 pounds or whatever it is. Yeah. The party sequence was reported the longest and hardest scene to shoot in the movie. Most of the crews that occur on scene are not in the novel, but originally scripted by Blake Edwards. So,
Good
have you read the book?
license there?
No.
I've not read the book.
No. Comic book.
Comic book.
Reading?
Breakfast Tiffany's a
What's
comic
that?
book.
I don't read. What are you talking about?
You do audiobooks, though. So I didn't know.
Some, yeah.
I don't even know if it's on Audible. Watch that later.
The uncredited voice of the terrifying man tearing up Holly's apartment is...
Who is it, Jimbo?
George Papard.
George Papard.
30 years later, used his voice talents as a hallmark of his Masters of Disguise character on the A-Team, where he always did his own alternate voices rather than having a dub double. I didn't know that about him.
That's awesome. I didn't know that either.
That is interesting.
Holly's couch is an old-fashioned bathtub split in half. In some scenes, you can still see the gold handles at one end of the legs and the legs on the bottom. The movie's poster was number 18 of the 25 best movies posters ever by Premiere. And as Kyle has alluded, Sally Tomato, Fred Flintstone was in here, but also Mel Blanc was Holly's drunk visitor who played Barney Rubble. So Barney and Fred.
Barney and Fred were in it. That's awesome.
And Bugs Bunny and
everything
A lot
else.
of other characters. Yeah. You know, once you're a voice actor, you're doing 1,000 roles. You can't just do one.
All right, here we go. In 2008 interview about the film, Mickey Rooney said he was heartbroken about the criticism he received for his role. Blake Edwards wanted me to do it because he was a comedy director. They hired me to do this overboard, and we had fun doing it. Never in all the more than 40 years after we made it, not one complaint. Every place I've gone in the world, people say, God, you were so funny. Asians and Chinese come up to me and say, Mickey, you were out of this world. Rooney also said that if he'd known people would be so offended, I wouldn't have done it. Those that didn't like it, I forgive them, and God bless America. God bless the universe. God bless Japanese, Chinese, Indians, all of them, and let's have peace. So,
Mickey Rooney.
Mickey Rooney being Mickey Rooney.
Yeah.
One of the 9 cats used in this film was called Orangey. He appears in the scene where Holly hears the news about her brother Fred and throws a tantrum. Orangey was a top animal actor and even won his second Patsy Award, which is the animal equivalent of the Oscar.
Animal Patsy Oscar.
He's got more than Leonardo DiCaprio.
Exactly. Give him time. He'll get another one, probably.
Here's another thing. For his portrayal of I.E. Yunioshi, Mickey Rooney wore makeup and a prosthetic mouthpiece to change his features to a caricatured approximation of a Japanese person. Since the 1990s, his portrayal had been subject to increasing protest by Asian Americans, among others. For instance, the film is used in an example of Hollywood's racist depiction of Asians in the film Dragon, the Bruce Lee story in 1993, where the future Asian American screen legend sees the film with his girlfriend, only for her to suggest they leave the screening upon seeing how upset he is at the film's content, thus implying how Lee would one day challenge those racial film stereotypes.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, like, it's coming more forward now because, like, how much of Bruce Lee was just fighting against racial stereotypes of his era and actually succeeding in most cases and actually, like,
you know, we're going to do a real
awesome.
talk on Bruce Lee and his son and the Curse of the
Yeah, put in the backlog of history because, like, there's a lot of talk about Bruce Lee.
Right.
Yeah.
The location shots for the exterior of the apartment building where Holly Golightly and Paul Varjak reside is 169 East 71st Street between 3rd and Lexington Avenues in Manhattan. The building is unchanged as of 2016. You can look for it on the TCM on location tours in New York City.
Cool.
You know, it was funny when we were talking earlier about, breakfast in Tiffany's, because in France, this is known as diamonds on toast.
That's the title?
That's a great title. Man.
Diamonds on toast.
Diamonds are forever.
That sounds like a Taylor Swift album name.
Truman Capote sold the rights for the film for $650,000. He was later annoyed that the man who adapted the novel, George Axelrod, earned more than he did.
Yeah.
That's how it goes sometimes.
In September 2017, Tiffany and Company bought the original 1961 working script with deleted scenes and notes in Audrey Hepburn's handwriting for £632,750, or the equivalent of $846,619 at Christie's auction house in London, selling for more than the second and third highest item sold in the auction that day combined. It's the most expensive film script ever bought at an auction.
Wow.
Kyle, you need to buy that for the studio.
It belongs in the museum.
It belongs in Jimbo's studio.
Right after I get, East Computer.
The Huckleberry Hound Show, which was another Hanna-Barbera, is shown in this movie as the mask that Holly picks up as at the store.
Yeah.
That was a weird scene, too, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was
like, it's
kind of out
weird.
there. Yeah. A little bit of a small digression that made no sense to me, but whatever.
This is the AFI's top 100 greatest songs for Moon River is 4th position, right after Somewhere Over the Rainbow, As Time Goes By, and Singing in the Rain.
Over the Rainbow. Oh, Somewhere Where the Rain. That was
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz, Kyle. You know.
that
Have you
movie
even watched
that I
the
did
Wizard of
podcast
Oz?
for. Yeah. Where does it? Yeah.
When you play
That's one of the Iron Man, Thor, right? The Wizard of Oz.
when you play Moon River on the piano, none of the black keys are you even have to use none of the black keys.
Racist. No.
Wow, Kyle. So now we dragged Henry Mancini in to cancel him too. Huh? Way to go. Audrey Hepburn's performance of Moon River would not be officially released until after her death. Holly's real name is Lulu May, which means famous warrior born in the month of May. The name she chose for herself is Holiday meaning born on a holy day. In real life, Audrey Hepburn's birthday happens to be May 4th.
Be with you. She's a Jedi.
Always.
That's a holiday, right?
The marble window column at Tiffany's with its distinctive jagged inclusion, noticeably as Holly Golightly pauses next to it in the opening credits, is still there, as is much of Tiffany's stone exterior as it was back then. Is Tiffany still there?
I believe so.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, if any of our New York listeners are there, send us a picture at the tragedy of
All one of you.
Send us a picture.
All one of you.
Yeah, which one?
Yeah.
Or if you're going on vacation there, Eric, you can send us some.
We'll do it next time we go to New York.
The film is referenced by the song Breakfast at Tiffany's by Deep Blue Something, which is a big international hit in the 1990s. Eric and I talked about that while we were in high school. The two different Halloween masks of Huckleberry Hound are seen at the 5 and 10 store. The lyric in the title song Moon River references my Huckleberry friend, the implication of the true blue friend, a blue cartoon dog in a cerulean body of water, a neatly packaged theme of the film. Oh, man, here we go. When Holly and Paul take Doc to the bus station, as Doc leaves, he says to Paul, at least see that she gets something to eat once in a while. He then hands Paul something, presumably money, though it's never spoken by either of the character what it actually was.
We're actually at that scene right now in the film.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So you guys let me know.
I think it's already happened, maybe.
The handoff already happened, yeah.
I thought he hands it out the
No, I was watching it as you were talking.
It's a box of Cracker Jacks.
Box of Cracker Jack. Yeah,
They still got prizes in those things. Remember this movie when he takes that? What was it he was getting engraved?
The ring.
It was the ring.
from the
Yeah,
prize
he had a ring in the
from
Cracker Jacks box.
Cracker Jack.
And Kyle would have took the pen or whatever, or what was it, the
don't know.
tin phone dial, or what was it, the thing they were going to buy at Tiffany's, remember? It was going to cost $6.75.
The phone dialer.
Yeah.
Phone dialer, yeah. Silver.
I thought you were going
Genuine
to say
silver.
the tattoos from the Cracker Jack. I used to love the tattoos.
The director trademarked Blake Edwards for the Cat. The slapstick business with Cat presages Edwards' smash hit franchise of the Pink Panther, which was jam-packed with feline imagery. Audrey Hepburn said that the scene where she throws Cat into the rainy street was the most distasteful thing she had ever had to do on film.
It was pretty sad.
It's a cat.
Yeah, but
You
just
don't like
dump it on the
cats,
side
that's
of the
your-
road.
I like when
cats.
you're allergic to cats.
Drop a cat in the middle of the rain. That feels mean. That feels mean. Yeah.
It's better than the snow.
No, I think there's no.
It's better than on a busy intersection.
Heartless animal hater.
And here comes all the PETA people. When Holly...
PETA.
So let's see. We've canceled Kyle. We've canceled Henry Mancini. We've canceled Mickey Rooney. We've canceled me.
You.
Eric, you're next.
I'm on deck.
When Holly is wearing the simple white shirt as a nightgown, she turns away from Paul, and there is a rip in the back of the shirt, or pins have come away from it. In the final scene, Paul's rain-soaked hair switches back and forth from being tousled in the wider shots to being slicked back in the close-ups.
Movie magic.
Yep.
Yeah.
After Holly enters Paul's bedroom through the window, stockings appears on her legs.
I wish it worked for me. Yeah.
Kyle wears stockings just for fun.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
At about 1 minute into the movie, just as Holly turns from the Tiffany window, the camera pans left and you can see a crew, a police individual holding back traffic on the street at a distance so they can see the film scene. In the opening scene, Holly's taxi is traveling north on Fifth Avenue to drop her off at Tiffany's. The street is deserted because of the early morning hour, but traffic on Fifth Avenue travels south, so that's when they drop her off, not when she leaves. When Holly gets out of the cab at the end in the rain, her hair is already soaked from wet from previous takes. Towards the end of the movie, when Holly and Paul are in the cab, you can see the taxi driver isn't really holding the steering wheel.
Yeah, I saw that.
turning itself.
Yeah,
It's
he's just turning itself, and
Yeah.
he's just like holding it there, like loosely hollow around it. It's funny to see.
And when Holly and Paul are riding in the taxi near the end, the street scene in the rear projection through the back window is wide 4-lane New York City street. But when the cab stops for Holly to throw the cat out, and in subsequent shots on the street and in the alley, the street is very narrow, barely wide enough for 2 cars, and clearly a set on the studio backlot. So we'll start with Kyle. Kyle, what do you think about Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Breakfast at Tiffany's is a remarkable film. I think it's really good. I enjoyed it a fair amount. I like to repeat watch it. I think it's a good film. I've already watched it twice this week. Make sure I got it. Make sure I kind of got the gist of what was going on. And the more I watch it, the more I like it, the more I appreciate it. So overall, I think it's an excellent film. It definitely deserves to be like Audrey Hepburn's most well-known film. I think this might be her best. Personally, I've watched a couple of her other ones, and I think this one kind of deserves that kind of close up to that top spot for me right now. So overall, it's an excellent film. Well worth watching. Anyone can go watch it. I enjoy it very much. I'm going to send it back to Eric. Eric, what do you think of Breakfast at Tiffany's?
I would agree with all of those sentiments. It definitely, this was the peak film in her career. It's alluded to a lot in research and so forth. It's just a great film. It's outstanding. It deserves all of the accolades, in my mind. It's a great story. It's got all the elements for a great film. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't think that I would. It kind of threw me. It's a good love story, and I don't go into love story movies with a lot of anticipation of it being all that enjoyable. But yeah, it's really a great film. And as Jimbo talked about earlier, I got to introduce it to my daughters, and they both loved it. So we've watched it several times. So. It's great all the way around in my book.
Yeah, I think it's one of those films where you really just get like the more you see of it, the more you kind of grow a fondness for it in the first place too. Like I think like the first time I liked it, then the second time I like it a little bit more. And I think that's going to keep growing. Like the more times I ever get around to watching it, be like, oh yeah, this movie is top notch in work.
Yeah.
Jimbo, how do you feel about the overall movie? You hate it. You hate it.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say, Jimbo, when you first started this podcast, it would, for this reason, this would be one of the reasons why you would start the podcast. The tragedy of cinema, the tragedy, in at least in my life, was that I really didn't see it until I was an older adult, and you don't know what you're missing until you actually watch a movie like this. It's great.
There's, like I said, there's a ton of movies like this that you sit back and you're like, why is this in the top 100? Why is this Audrey Hepburn? You know what I mean? And you watch a movie like this, you're like, why did I wait so long? There's so many movies that we've covered that I have found that I have just overly enjoyed, and I wish I would have watched them earlier in my life, you know what I mean, so I could have appreciated them more. Audrey Hepburn is fantastic. I really just love her. George Papard, it's kind of a weird movie. It's a good movie, but when your whole premise is a call girl and a playboy, I guess is what you call it. And there's even the famous scene at the end where Papard's like, "You belong to me," and I was like, "Well," she's like, "No, people don't belong to people," you know what I mean? And I thought that was really interesting choice of words. And he's like, "Sure they do," and I was like, well, "Where are we going with this?" You know what I mean? So I didn't really care for Papard's character. He was like, I don't know, it's like.
Yeah.
Entitled, I guess, is the word I would look for. Audrey Hepburn's just like a drunk, and she's always just looking for a rich man to take care of her. That's the whole premise of the movie. And she plays it well. And then there's that scene where she comes home and she gets drunk, and then they go out to that strip club, I guess it is, the strip club, you know what I mean? She's sitting there with the sunglasses on, like, if I had her body, I wouldn't have to worry about being rich or whatever, or whatever. But yeah, it is a great movie. Very clean movie for the most part too. Right. The whole Mickey Rooney thing, even though there is some comedic value, you could have had that comedic value even without him portraying a Japanese American. And if he would have just been himself in the movie, it would have been just as funny.
Yeah. Well, I feel like impressions and accent work has kind of gone a little bit of the wayside and more of a I don't even know if I want to say enlightened, but like in the idea of like a new kind of woke culture, like it's one of those things like it's a more delicate subject to preach upon because like you don't want to risk just like making them appear just only laughable. Like you don't want to like make them like that. You know?
Okay, let me throw this out there then. If Mel Brooks would have done a spoof of this movie called Dinner at Penny's or something, and they had somebody like Mickey Rooney playing an Asian American like that, I don't think people would have been as much uproar. It's kind of like Blazing Saddles. There's not a lot of people that are in uproar about Blazing Saddles
but
either.
I think Mel Brooks would have been wise enough to know that he's lampooning the people that did the accent work, something like that. Like he would have gone so overboard, it would have been clear that he's making making fun of people that are using Japanese stereotypes in that kind of way to some degree. Mel Brooks didn't do that probably for that very reason, because he didn't want to be part of that kind of scene of making another culture just appear laughable and said like lampoon the idea of racism. And once again, like Mickey Rooney isn't coming from a place where he thinks he's racist and has some like kind of like implicit kind of racism to some degree where
he's just doing what the director asked him to do.
He's doing what the director asked him to do, but like it's one of those things like you only kind of have that kind of accent or opinion of Asian people if you secretly think they're kind of like laughable in private from the way they talk. Like, you know, it goes back to like the ideas like when you think like Japanese like ching chongs and all those kind of ideas, and you like just laugh at them instead of trying to learn the culture or understand them. You would say just kind of mock them because they're not American. That's kind of the bad part of like accent work or impressions and that kind of negative style. That's why it's kind of like out of favor today. There's still, I think, could be a place for it in the future and right now, but it's just something you have to do with a little bit more of a delicate hand, I think, because you risk overstepping if you don't understand the culture you're mimicking. You know?
Which kind of takes you back to the time period. I mean, comedians like Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin and Lewis, you know, you got to go back to that time when the film was made. That was kind of like this brand of comedy for that particular time, which kind of makes sense why not to, you know, not to excuse it, but that you kind of think that's who I thought it was at first. When I first saw the movie, I thought that was Jerry Lewis doing an impression of a Japanese person or whatever, and I mean, it just was common in that era, and it's what the comedy was and what it sold for that time period. And I think they probably just took it like, oh, this will be funny. We'll have this character with comedic value. We'll throw it in here. And
that was for the comedy of the time. And I don't hate Mickey Rooney or any other like comedian who did this for the time. Yeah, well, not specifically for
and
this.
there goes Kyle. Eric got canceled. So we've come full circle.
You know, I'm just saying, like, it's one of those things, like now looking back, it's probably needed to handle that a little bit better. I wish they had. I'm sure he, like he's not alive today, but, like, you know, if he had I had the foresight, like, I probably wouldn't have done it this way, because there's a better way to do it that's still funny and doesn't risk stepping on those toes that don't need to be stepped on, because, like, you don't need to make fun of those people. They get enough bad things happen to them. You know, like, that's kind of like the history of all minorities in a way. Like, everyone's been treated bad in history. You don't need to make an impression of them that already punches down. That's not the right way. You're punching down another culture that already gets mistreated in various ways. You need to punch up. You know, that's the comedy.
Can I also say that when you watch movies like this, that now you understand when you see a picture at a store of like Breakfast at Tiffany's, you had no idea what it was for to begin with, or even, you know, James Dean movies, which we'll be talking about again. You see stuff now, and now you start putting two and two together, like, oh, well, now I understand this to a deeper meaning than just, hey, there's a picture of James Dean. Well, this was actually from Giant. This was actually from Rebel Without Causes. So now you see when you see a picture of
context is important.
Yeah, you
Audrey
understand
Hepburn
the legacy
in the dress.
Of all
You
these
see
pictures.
this
That's the iconic like poster of Audrey Hepburn with the cigarette and all that stuff too. Like, that's been parodied so many times that now we only recognize the parody of the parody. We don't even recognize the original poster anymore, because that's how far it's gone through history and how iconic it truly was. Like, so many people make a reference to Audrey Hepburn and don't even know they're doing it. That's how
a lot of people don't even know who Audrey Hepburn is anymore.
But that's how much it's like how much her impact permeated the culture for the past almost 70 years now at this point. You know, so it's just one of those things where you have to look back and like, oh wow, that's incredible. And then, like, when you go back and watch this film, and at the very idea of this podcast, it gives you that fundamental understanding. Like, this is where it comes from. This is where the groundwork was laid to like establishing these kind of like types of characters. Yeah, you're right. Go ahead, Peter.
Walk on you, Kyle.
Just walk on me here.
Just stomp on me.
I remember.
I need this.
Just to speak to what he just said, I remember seeing the poster all over the place in people's homes, and even, we'll get to this in a moment, but the James Dean posters and movie posters and other artists' renditions of James Dean and Audrey Hepburn. I'd never seen the movie. I had no idea what the movie was even about. I just remember the iconic poster of seeing it multiple times before even seeing the film.
I think she might be my next cardboard cutout for the studio with the black dress with the cigarette.
Right next to Mandalorian from
or Gollum over there. So, well, I think we've rattled on long enough about Breakfast at Tiffany's. If you'd like to follow us on social media, we are on the Tragedy of Cinema podcast on Facebook. You can reach out to us at thetragedyofcinema@gmail.com. I'm on Twitter. Kyle is working. Not really on TikTok, but he's one of these days.
He's always right around the corner.
One of these days, he's going to shock me and be like, "I'm actually
Moon
done."
River. He's going to do a TikTok.
And don't forget our live show, which you will hear at the beginning of this episode, and I think the Giant episode and all that from here till we have it, July 16th in Indianapolis, Indiana. You can get your tickets either on Eventbrite or at hillbillyhorrorstories.com. We will be live with Jerry and Tracy from Hillbilly Horror Stories and Todd, Sean, and Nate from Middle Aged and Creeped Out. Kyle and I are working diligently on the movie that we're going to cover, and as well as some fun stuff that I've already got some of the stuff in the mail. I'm pretty excited about to pass out to people. So
it's right around the corner, even though it's 2 months away. It's right around the corner.
Right,
like,
2 months. It's only like a month away.
Almost about 2 months. It's like July 18th, right? Is that not
16th?
July 16th.
July leave 16th. It to Kyle. Deborah.
Well, it's May.
I will be there. Kyle is debatable.
It's like it's May. It's May 18th today. That's what I meant to say. It's May 18th today. So it's a little less than 2 months away. Right around the corner. Time sneaks up on fast, especially during the COVID era. Okay. Well,
with that being said, I think this episode's coming to a close, and that's a wrap.
And that's a wrap. And cut.